Scholarship committees love to see volunteer experience on applications. Now, some students, they may have tons of experience with volunteering, but some students might be looking for things to get involved in. So in today's video, I'm going to give you specific examples of types of volunteering that might help you and your student come up with some ideas to make them more competitive and hopefully help them secure some money for college. Now, make sure you hit subscribe because every single week we release a new strategy, including some on how to get scholarships, but also tons of other strategies on how to get that debt-free degree. Hey there, my name is Jocelyn Pearson, founder of the Scholarship System, where we redefine paying for college to help families build a strong financial future rather than one that's buried in student loan debt. So I'm excited to get into today's video because I know that this can turn into a lot of money for students. Now, we have another video where I explain how scholarships and how volunteering can really help a student secure scholarships. So if you want to check that out, we will link to that in the description. Now, we have another video on how community service can help your student receive scholarships, on how it can make them more competitive. So you can find that somewhere on the screen here, or you can click on the link in the description. So we will save that for a separate one. But in today's video, I'm going to give you 3 specific types of volunteering that your student can pursue to become more competitive. Now, before I get into this, one of the biggest things that we push in the scholarship system, Debt-Free Degree Lab, both of our programs, is that we would rather a student get involved in just a few things that they're truly passionate about rather than getting involved in everything under the sun because they think it will get them money or get them admitted into a university. So when I'm explaining these 3 opportunities for volunteering, what we want to do is give your student options so that they can choose what is a good fit for them. Well, what kind of volunteering will they actually enjoy? Because if they enjoy it, the passion will show through the essays, through their applications, and it'll show to the admissions committees, scholarship committees, and so on. So again, this is to give options because not every student likes to go and show up at a food bank, or maybe they want to. So this is going to give you all some ideas. The first type of volunteering is actually really great for those who are introverts, and that is virtual volunteering. Over the years, especially since COVID, there are more and more organizations asking for virtual volunteers because the world realized, hey, we can do a lot from afar. One really cool example is through the Smithsonian, where they have multiple opportunities for virtual volunteering, transcribing, identifying photos, updating Wikipedia pages. So there are all different little assignments that someone can do from the comfort of their home and still make a really big impact in the world. Zooniverse, we'll link to it in the description because it's kind of crazy, actually has an opportunity for researchers to post opportunities for virtual help. This is where a student can volunteer and do some research for them. Lastly, if your student is interested in a specific nonprofit organization, maybe they're passionate about a certain topic and they just don't see anything on their website, have your student reach out because they might not have even realized someone's interested in that and they may be able to come up with some kind of project. Now, comment below if your student was to volunteer, if they could come up with a dream volunteering opportunity, what do you think it would be? What area would it be in? Comment below and maybe someone else knows of an opportunity in that. All right, the second way to volunteer is a one-day or maybe a weekend intensive volunteer opportunity. So this is great for students that are extremely busy and maybe they can't have some sort of ongoing time commitment, but they do want to get involved. One example that I did with this was actually Special Olympics. It wasn't always going on, but I did volunteer during that specific event. North Carolina Zoo, they have a day where volunteers can come in and help them paint or clean up or make repairs. So it's a big volunteer service. I know of another one with schools where every year, one day in the year, maybe a weekend, probably 2 days, so a weekend, they go through all of the schools and help repaint, help touch up windows, whatever needs to be done. So lots of opportunities where it's just kind of a one-time thing or an annual thing. So it's not this regular ongoing commitment that a student has to regularly meet. Another opportunity could be picking up trash. So this actually is something where that could be a regular thing, but it doesn't have to be. So maybe they just have one random day here and there. They can go ahead and reach out and volunteer. All right, now the third opportunity with volunteering is something that I have experience with because I liked kind of setting goals and accumulating towards a goal, and that is collection drives. So in this example, I actually helped collect pop tabs for Ronald McDonald House. And this is where I actually set up little containers in different places, and I would just pick them up and drop them off. So in the grand scheme of things, it was an ongoing thing, but it really wasn't a huge time commitment, and it could make a big impact. So these kind of collection drives, they could be for food, they could be for donations, they could be for pop tabs, whatever the collection is, whatever the goal is, it can be an ongoing thing, or it can also be a one-time thing depending on how your student does this. Now, managing this can really showcase a student's skill sets, their drive, their organization, their ability to multitask. There can be a lot behind it. It can also be pretty simple, but this can really showcase a student's talents and abilities. Now, for me, Ronald McDonald House actually turned into one of my scholarships. I think it was a one-time scholarship, not recurring, but any penny helps. So if you want to learn more about how I got 6 figures in scholarships and graduated debt-free, make sure that you register for our free training, which you should find somewhere here on the screen, or you can find the link in the description, or go to theScholarshipSystem.com/free webinar, and you can learn my exact steps on how I accomplish all of those scholarships to get to a debt-free degree. Now, when it comes to any kind of collection drive, the first step in this is for your student to figure out what kind of organization do they want to volunteer with. Could it be clothing? Could it be something for thrift stores, the Kidney Foundation? Do they want to do pop tabs? Do they want to try to raise money? Do they want to put in an event to raise money and make it this big thing? So having your student kind of do a little bit of self-discovery, and also they could just reach out to organizations that they know need collections and then figure out what they're most passionate about. This would be a great way to approach this. Now, again, this can be an ongoing thing, but personally, I think the best thing to do would be to put some kind of deadline on it. So maybe your student could collect pop tabs for the rest of their life for the Ronald McDonald House, but maybe instead they should just say, you know what, I'm going to do it this fall semester, and that will be my commitment. If it's easy, maybe I'll recommit for spring, but for now, this is all I want to commit to. Or maybe, again, it's a one-time drive where they create flyers and schedule events to just do a one-time food drive. So maybe they ask for non-perishable donations around the holiday time. They can put them into bags. This is another thing that I've done in the past, and then bring them to families for the holidays. So that kind of has a finite amount of time, and it has a deadline, right? So this is ideal, especially for students who need that kind of deadline to meet to really get them moving on something. And it also just makes it feel more manageable than this ongoing project that is just never ending. Okay, so as you can see, I threw out a lot of different ideas when it comes to volunteering. So like I mentioned, there is another video on how to use volunteering to sell your students. So you want to make sure that you watch it with them so that they can get ideas on how they can be competitive because of volunteering. But hopefully in this video, this gave you and your student a few ideas on how they can really build their resume. Again, remember, it's not about quantity, it's about quality. We want to make sure that we're involved in just a few things that we're truly passionate about. So don't try to get your student into everything under the sun. Have them pick maybe one thing that they love. Maybe they love magic tricks. They can go and volunteer at one place and do some magic tricks for the elderly or for the sick. Or maybe they are really passionate about food and they can do one-time food drive every single year while they're in high school. So again, lots of opportunities here. And if you want to comment below with some of those ideas, we'd be happy to comment back any kind of brainstorming that we have for the same topic. All right, again, make sure you hit subscribe because every week we release a new strategy, and I will see you in the next video.